Imagine walking into the center of your city nearly 4,000 years ago. Standing before you is a massive black stone. It towers above the crowd. Across its polished surface, hundreds of lines are carved into the rock. At the very top, a king stands before the sun god, receiving divine authority. Below them, 282 laws, not hidden inside a palace, not whispered only to judges, but displayed where everyone could see them. For the first time in history, justice was being carved into stone. The king responsible for this was Hammurabi. He did far more than rule Babylon. He transformed the way governments used law. And thousands of years later, his influence can still be found in legal systems around the world. Hammurabi was born around 1810 BCE. Historians cannot identify his exact birthplace, but it was almost certainly within the growing Babylonian kingdom in southern Mesopotamia. His father, Sin-Muballit, ruled Babylon before him. Around 1792 BCE, Hammurabi inherited the throne. At that time, Babylon was not the center of a great empire. It was one kingdom among many. Powerful rivals surrounded it. The kingdoms of Larsa, Eshnunna, Mari, and Assyria each competed for influence. Few would have predicted that Babylon would become the dominant power of Mesopotamia. Yet over the next 4 decades, Hammurabi would reshape the political landscape of the ancient Near East. Hammurabi did not begin his reign with constant warfare. In his early years, he focused on strengthening Babylon. He repaired canals, improved irrigation, expanded temples, encouraged agriculture, strengthened trade. Only after securing his kingdom did he turn outward. One by one, rival kingdoms fell. Larsa, Eshnunna, Mari, large portions of Assyria. Through diplomacy, strategy, and military campaigns, Hammurabi united much of Mesopotamia under Babylonian rule. For the first time since Sargon of Akkad, a single ruler controlled most of the region. But conquest alone would never guarantee stability. An empire required something stronger than armies. It required order. This is why Hammurabi is remembered. Not because he conquered cities, but because he governed them. Sometime near the end of his reign, he ordered a remarkable monument to be created. A tall stone stele carved with 282 legal provisions. These laws covered almost every aspect of daily life: trade, marriage, inheritance, property, agriculture, construction, employment, crime, medical practice. Justice reached into every corner of society. Some punishments were severe. The famous principle, an eye for an eye, appears in several laws. To modern readers, many of these punishments seem harsh. But within their historical context, the code represented something remarkable. It established that disputes should be judged according to written standards rather than the personal wishes of individual rulers. Even the king declared that justice should follow established law. The code also reveals the realities of Babylonian society. Different social classes often received different penalties. Men and women possessed certain legal rights, though not equally. Property was carefully protected. Contracts were recorded. Witnesses were required. Justice became a structured process rather than arbitrary revenge. Hammurabi died around 1750 BCE after ruling for approximately 42 years. His empire gradually weakened after his death. Eventually, Babylon itself would be conquered. Yet the stone bearing his laws survived. Centuries later, it was carried away as war booty. Then it disappeared, for thousands of years. In 1901, archaeologists uncovered the famous stele at the ancient city of Susa in present-day Iran. Today, it stands as one of history's greatest archaeological discoveries. More importantly, Hammurabi proved that governments could be strengthened not only through military power, but through written law. He showed that rules could outlive rulers, that justice could be recorded, studied, copied, and remembered. His code influenced later legal traditions throughout the ancient Near East and remains one of the most famous surviving legal texts from antiquity. Empires rise, empires fall, kings are forgotten, palaces crumble, armies disappear, but ideas endure. Hammurabi understood that the strongest kingdom is not built only with soldiers. It is built with laws that people recognize, understand, and obey. Nearly 4,000 years after his death, the stone he commissioned still speaks. Not because every law was fair by modern standards, not because every punishment was just, but because it marked a turning point in human civilization. Hammurabi did not merely rule Babylon. He helped shape humanity's understanding of how societies could be governed. And that is why the world still remembers him.